reports of numerous calls by the police at Des Bryant's house, different shenanigans Bryant was involved in off the field. And from what we're hearing that Des Bryant's camp, Des Bryant's people, his posse, what word should we use? Camp, posse, people, whatever you choose. The people around Des Bryant think that these reports, which some of them are accurate and yet some of them are not, are carefully crafted leaks by the Cowboys. Like, we get it, right? Des is a powder keg. He's also got superhuman skills on the football field. You can call it dirty football. The boys in Dallas, led by Jerry Jones and his marching marching society of well, I can't say it on the radio. They're basically being accused of deception, misleading allegations. You see it in politics all the time, not often in the NFL, although that's not even true anymore. In the NFL, you hear it just as much as baseball and the other sports. But they're trying to lower Des Bryant's bargaining power. An old-fashioned smear campaign, and it has worked in the past in sports. And the way that it works is you, how shall we say it, soil a man's reputation. And either you get that player that you really want to lower his price point, or the other door is you let him leave, and when he leaves, you just say, well, hey, listen, you guy's got a bad reputation. Bad locker room guy. Troublemaker. We don't need him. We're better off without him. You rationalize the loss of a player like this. Right. Now, from what I'm reading, the whole thing is about one word. And that word? Guaranteed. That's the word. As in guaranteed money. The Cowboys are trying to be a little sneaky. Give Des one of those big contracts, but it's fake money. Right? It's Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick money, a lot of empty dollars there. They think that Des is going to be a sucker and take that money. They're trying to sell hogwash by the gallon to Des Bryant, and right now, Des Bryant doesn't want to buy any hogwash. Now, Bryant, he should not be giving the Cowboys any kind of a discount. Right? They're not eating ramen noodles there at the Cowboy offices. They can afford to pay Des Bryant market rate. And they should be paying him more than market rate. The Cowboys are one of the more valuable franchises in the NFL. They have been able to monetize every single thing. Have you seen the Cowboys games? It's amazing. The players run through a restaurant to get from the locker room to the field. There's a catwalk, and there are people eating chicken wings and nachos as the players from the Cowboys and the visiting team run down through the restaurant to get to the field, which in itself is not bad. The problem is the evil scheme gets unglued when a player gets hurt and they've got to pull the guy through the restaurant on a stretcher while he's surrounded by people eating fish tacos. It's somewhat disturbing. Somewhat disturbing. But Dallas can afford to open up the wallet. If you want to eat filet mignon, you have to pay for it. The bottom line here, the Cowboys need to stop the distortion of the facts. Pay the man. Pay the man, right? Absolutely. Now, the unfortunate reality is Des Bryant should be paid like the number 2 receiver in the NFL. Why should he be paid like the number 2 receiver in the NFL? Because that's what Des Bryant is. Calvin Johnson, through his play on the field, has been the top receiver in the NFL. Des Bryant is just a shade behind Calvin Johnson. You got to throw A.J. Green into the conversation, but other guys like Brandon Marshall, Julio Jones, they've fallen off because of their performance this year. There's some other players that statistically are better in some categories than Des Bryant and Megatron. Guys like Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, Demaryius Thomas in Denver. I don't put them ahead of the top 2. I have Megatron and Des Bryant as my top 2, and I'm sticking to it. It's my list. I can come up with whoever I want. Those guys are good, Antonio Brown, Hilton, and Thomas, obviously, but they're not in my top 3. On the positive side, assuming that Des Bryant doesn't go off the tracks, fall off the cliff, he's going to end up breaking, should he stay in Dallas, all of Michael Irvin's records. Some of them have already been broken. He will be remembered, statistically anyway, as the greatest receiver in Cowboys history. And he's playing with the greatest statistical quarterback in Cowboy history the award-winning, the great Tony Romo. Now, Jerry Jones, you can call him shady, you can call him phony, but he is somewhat of a savvy businessman. He loves celebrity. He loves celebrity. So I would think that Jerry Jones is going to give Des Bryant a lot of guaranteed money with a caveat. What's the caveat? I'll tell you. Caveat? A morality clause. Now, there's a standard morality clause in an NFL contract. And, by the way, a